I still remember my very first prescription. It was a dental script for amoxicillin. I was terrified. But actually, my pre-reg year did, it was really good. It was varied. And it really sort of prepared me well for my first day as RP. So just a bit of context, my pre-reg year, the first 6 months were great. They were going amazingly well. I had a tutor who really cared about my progress, would check in with me every week. And then she got promoted. And obviously I was really happy for her, but the next question in my head was, where am I going to go? Or, who's going to be my supervisor? So she took me out. We went to a cafe down the road over lunch, and she told me this news. And she was being promoted to clinical governance manager. So of course, very inspirational woman that I wanted to continue my journey with, but that wasn't possible. So I ended up spending the next 6 months in a community pharmacy, which was, let's just say there's different levels of supervision. But by this time I was, more independent. I really sort of got to grips with the year and what the last 6 months looked like. So it wasn't much of an issue for me. But the biggest issue I came across was the challenges of making the pharmacy team realize that I'm actually a trainee and not just another staff member. In terms of workload, I'm more than happy to be a team player, and I'm the sort of person that will try and do multiple things at once to keep everyone happy. But in this instance it was getting too much, because in the last few months when you're dispensing and you come across a drug you don't know, all you can think is panic. What if this comes up in the assessment? So you end up looking at the BNF or doing a bit of research around it just quickly on the go. But that became more and more difficult with the team that I was with, purely because of understanding. That's all it was. They were lovely people, but didn't understand what my year looked like and what my priorities were. So this was a big learning curve for me, because I realized that from the very beginning, what I should have done was I should have spoken to the team to say, just casually, hey, look, this is what I have to get through this year. This is what my assessment might look like. This is the kind of level of knowledge I need to have, in my brain walking into that assessment. And it will be stressful, but I'll do my absolute best to juggle being a great team player whilst focusing on my priorities too. So that was a learning curve for me. And once I'd had that conversation, it was smooth sailing. So it goes to show how important communication is, and how important it is for team members to realise, what a trainee pharmacist does, because then they'll support you. And actually, they started helping me. They started quizzing me. They started, making sure by the end of the day I'd done what I needed to do, which was lovely. So going back to my first day as RP, I felt like that experience of almost 6 months split placement working with different teams, and my experience before that of going to different pharmacies as a relief dispenser really sort of stood me in good ground, because it wasn't the worst case scenario. It was actually okay, and I knew where to turn to if I needed help, and had a good network of support.